Linda, are you able to hear me? Check, check. Just hoping everybody can hear me. Oh, what's up, Darren?
Hey, Josh, thanks for doing this class.
Of course.
The lovely dress, Amber.
What happened?
I'm getting that. What?
Lovely dress.
Thank you. Some days.
Yeah. I hit the line of the full. Yeah, well, you know, a cup of coffee, 6 months. Really good. There you go, man.
What's
There you go. Oh.
I am great. I'm just trying to get all this stuff going.
Fire on North York. Didn't get a place the other day. Immediately. Okay,
Hold on a second. Because I got the music playing so everybody can actually hear us here. Oh, it's okay. Let me just, yeah, there's a whole group of people up here. Here they come. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Just give me a thumbs up. The only person I can see is Stacy, so if you can let me know you can hear me. Stacy, I would appreciate it. Good, thank you. Hey, Amy, Ariel, appreciate it, you guys. How are we today? Everybody good? I've got a waiting room running here, so I'm gonna try to remember to constantly check back to the waiting room to let everybody in, but I'm not gonna be so good at it, I can guarantee you. The other thing is you may see me look this way from time to time. I've got a screen over here that I'll be sharing from, and then over here. So just bear with me if you're looking at the back of my head. It's not intentional. We're upgrading our technology here in this branch, so just bear with me. All right. So we're all coming on here for the Remind class. If you guys can, if there's anybody who's not on the Stellar MLS, can you either raise your hand, your digital hand, your real hand, or comment in the chat. I just want to get an idea of who is not Stellar, because that's going to change. It may change what access you have. So if you guys are all Tampa based or Stellar MLS based, then you'll be good to go. If not, reach out to me privately, and I can kind of walk you through how to get the same access, okay? All right, so I'm going to start by sharing my screen here. And we're going to go with this one. All right. You guys can see Remind. If you guys have any questions at any point, I thought there might be more people on, but it doesn't look like we got as many people as I thought. So that means it can be a little bit more interactive. So feel free to interact. If you have questions, just come off mute and ask them, or raise your hand or whatever, and we will, we'll help out. All right. Let me pull up the meeting control. I got to make sure that I keep track of the waiting room. Anybody else like Zoom deficient? I am definitely Zoom. Which is surprising halfway through, where Zoom is taking over the world. But I'm not entirely sure how to. There we go. Okay. All right. Now we're going. All right, so here is Remind. Okay, so to get here, you're going to go to Stellar. Okay, stellarmls.com. You're going to log in. If you guys are on Stellar like I am, you've noticed that Stellar has changed their interface. It's lovely, and by lovely, I mean not so lovely. So hopefully they will eventually make it a little bit more friendly. But right now, in order to get to Remind, I have found that I have to type it into the search bar on Stellar. Okay, so when you go to stellarmls.com, you're gonna have to type into the search Remind. It'll pull it up. Okay. Once you click it to open it, when you're logged in, it's gonna take you here. This is the first screen of Remind. Okay. So when you come here, this is your daily. And let me make sure we are screen sharing and we are recording, right? All right. So when you come here, this is the main screen. These are all your little widgets. Little cool things to help make your life just a little bit easier. So with the widgets, I like to keep my market pulse for yesterday, last 7 days, last 30 days. So as soon as I log in, I can kind of see a trend line. And then I like to keep just, this is another one I use, my listings. It lets me keep track of stuff I've got going on. And then listing updates in the area I do most business in. Those are the ones I like to use, okay? That being said, you can add new ones. They've got lots of them in here. Set it up the way you want. This is a great thing, like in the first thing in the morning, when you wake up and you're still a little groggy and you're just trying to get real estate started. Just log on and look at this. This gives you some trend lines. It gives you what happened yesterday. Tells you that 18 homes expired yesterday. It kind of gives you something to do for the day if you don't have a set plan in motion. All right. So then to start the beefy part, I'll call it, my favorite parts of Remind.
How do you come up with that market pulse?
It makes it for you. You just add a new cart card here.
new card.
Yeah, and your market pulse is there. And then you've got some options as far as picking your zip code that you want to look at, or looking at, today, yesterday, last 7 days, last 30 days.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so moving down into search, okay? So Remind is an incredibly powerful tool. It blows my mind that people don't use it more, but they didn't do a great job of releasing a very user-friendly training for it. So, what I'll show you here is the easiest way to make money off of Remind. That's, basically it. So I'm going to run through a couple things that you can do on this. What I like about Remind is if you have somebody who's like, hey, my kids have to go to, Mulrennan Middle School. That's the school that they go to, or typically you find it a lot in high school, right? Well, we want to move, but I can't pull my kid out of high school. They have to stay there. Okay, well, you can actually come in here and type in a school. So I will type in my alumni. We are Durant in Plant City, Florida. Y'all aren't familiar with Plant City? I'm sure you are if you're in Tampa. But Durant High School. So we click here. You can actually click apply filter, and it lets you know what the approximate lines are for kids who want to go to Durant. They've got to live within this boundary right here. Now, this isn't guaranteed. This is just a good guidance. So obviously, once you start looking at homes in there, if that's really their number one sticking point, then make sure you do your due diligence. But this is a good way to kind of look up school systems. If you work a certain area and and that's your kind of niche, then you can do it that way. So here's another one, Newsom High School. And then you'll get, let's see, Bloomingdale. So this should cover this whole section right here for the high schools, just so that you kind of get an idea of how this all works. You see? So that's the 3 high schools in the areas that they cover. I have yet to find another tool that does it that easily, right? And like I said, it's not a guarantee. You can't 100% say, hey, yes, Mrs. Family, if you buy this house in this school zone, you'll be able to go there, right? We can't say that. You have to still do your due diligence. The buyer still has to do their due diligence, but this gives you a good searching point, okay? All right, so then to get all these filters off, we're just gonna X out of them. Now, you can either use Remind like the MLS, where we're just searching for active properties, expireds, things like that, or you can use Remind for databasing, okay? I use Remind for databasing. So I'm going to stay out of the listing stuff over here. If you want to look at listings, you would click here. If you want data, you're going to click on properties, which is the second one up here, okay? So how about we use somebody in, I'm going to pick a neighborhood locally, okay? So I'm going to pick a really big neighborhood in Riverview. If you guys aren't familiar with Riverview, South Hillsborough County. So there's a huge neighborhood down there called Panther Trace, and that's why I'm going to use this one, because Panther Trace has like 1 trillion homes in it. So we'll be able to get some great data. Yeah, man, it's a big neighborhood. It's a huge. Yes. You can tell I'm streaming because my computer is moving super fast. All right, so remember, if you just want to see what the neighborhood lines are, you can just click here, okay? And it'll highlight the neighborhood. Once again, we can assume that this is accurate, but we're still going to verify, right? So I personally happen to know a little bit about this neighborhood, and I know that there are, oh, actually, no, it updated. See, it didn't used to include this back section here. So it used to stop it right there. So it must have updated as time went on to include the rest of it, maybe after it was done being built. But so what you'll see here is, you guys can see your faces here. So let me move this over. So inside Panther Trace, I typed in the neighborhood, I clicked on the filter tag to put it on here, and it tells me that there are 2,072 homes in that neighborhood, okay? Now, as I zoom in, right now we're still big blocks here. Let's see, big blocks. What I mean by that is the numbers. Now you're getting little dots here. So you'll get to see the homes. So you have to zoom in a certain point in order to get to this screen here. And now we've got off market and on market data. So this is gonna, I can click on any one of these dots and that represents a home that they have data for. Okay. Now, when you're looking at just the data, it is going to show you if any of these are active. So over here on the right, you'll see that these are active. But then you'll also see that these are really old. You know, we know for sure nothing is sold in there for 209,000 in at least 2 years. So these are old. And so you have more stuff, you know, and that's how we look for the neighborhood, right? Now, what you're going to want to do with this data is say, okay, let's say this is a farm neighborhood that I'm picking. I would probably split this into fours if you have a neighborhood this big, because inside of Panther Trace, you're going to have high-end homes, you know, medium homes, and then like, you know, lower end single family starter homes, right? That's how this neighborhood is built. And so I would split your farms up. I wouldn't just take 2,000 people and try to start farming 2,000 people tomorrow. You're going to spin your wheels, you know, waste a lot of money. You're not going to get the traction you want, and then you probably won't repeat it. So we want you to be able to scale it and repeat it. So start with something smaller. But what I do is I use this to figure out what my turnover rate in the neighborhood is. Okay. So right now I know I have, you know, call it 2,100 homes. Okay. So I can look and say, I want people who have owned, and that's what all these little tags are over here. Property value, home equity, ownership time, sell score. I don't use the sell score because I don't know how they what algorithm they use to decide how likely somebody is to sell. I have no idea. So I don't really use it because it doesn't always seem to be accurate. Absentee owner. This is a big deal, right? Because if we want to do individual campaigns, because that's how we farm, right? We don't just go pay them the post guy, the EDDM guys to do mailers to every house. That's not specific, right? That's like going out with a musket and hoping to hit somebody. I'd rather just kind of go out with a sniper and know I'm going to hit somebody. So you want to go in for corporate, for absentee owners, you're going to look for people who live close or people who are out of state. So if they're absentee, that means that they don't live in the home. Okay, so you can do a specific campaign for them. You can go after them specifically and say, hey, I know you don't live here. I'm a realtor in the neighborhood. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but home prices in Panther Trace are climbing exponentially this year. I've helped out a couple investors. I find that typically one has a property that's a thorn in their side. Can I help you with that? Something like that. Come up with your own little script, your own little card. And that way, if we were to go with just absentee owners and just do those and do a campaign for those, we're taking ourselves down to 289 results, right? So it's a lot easier to go after 10% of it than to go after all of it, okay? So the other great thing is if you're a buyer's agent and that's your niche and that's where your heart is and you love working with buyers, then who do you think is going to be living in an absentee owner's house? Renters, right? So go knock on their door. Hey, I live in the neighborhood too, or hey, I just sold another home in the neighborhood. Hey, we just brought a buyer and they purchased a home in this neighborhood. We wanted to see if you were looking to purchase soon. We'd love to help you. We work with first-time home buyers all the time, right? And vice versa. So you've got all of that here. I typically stay away from the corporate just because it's a lot harder to get a hold of those guys. You're typically going through different levels of shells to get through the guys that actually make decisions. So if you want to do something like that, if that's kind of what if you want to get into that level where you're managing corporate rentals, then okay. But I stayed out of that. All right. Flood zone risk is in here. Building types are in here. Land use, mortgage rates. So mortgage rates, where they're getting this information is if they bought their home in August of 2019, whatever the average rate was in August of 2019 is what they're going to assume that they have. They may have a worse rate, they may have a better rate, but they're just averaging it out, okay? So if they haven't refinanced, so let's say we wanted to come through here when rates were super low, right? And say, hey, anybody whose rate is over 3%, we need to talk to these guys because they can refinance. Maybe you're helping your lender out, whatever. So you put those in. Well, now you've got 289 results of people who have a rate between 3 and 6%. And that kind of gives you the rest of the, how, hold on, let me put this back in there. So here, and we're going to hit apply. 116, there you go. So 116 people in that neighborhood have a rate over 3% and are absentee owners. We got people coming in all over. Oh, excuse me. There we go. So you'll have to remember, and I make a bad habit of this as you're seeing me go up here. If you're wanting specific information, you got to keep removing your old tags, right? Because if I still had the absentee owner thing checked, it would only be giving me people inside that absentee owner category who have a rate over that, right? So anytime you want individual, just come up here and clear it out. So here now we know we're looking at people who have rates over that 3 to 6%, and there's 1,100 people almost in there. So if you wanted to feed your lenders so that they would co-market stuff with you, things like that, you could print out this list and give it to them and let them know, hey, these are people you should probably reach out to. And that's a free way for them to get leads. I did it when I was in title, and Dan Magnano actually got refis out of it. So mortgage age, how long they've had the mortgage, last sale price, distressed deals, cash buyers. This is a big one too. If you've got somebody who maybe needs to sell quick, because remember, I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about it, but I always say that sellers can get 2 of 3 options. They can get how fast they want this thing done, how convenient they want it done, or how much money. They can't get all 3. So if you find somebody who, maybe needs a cash offer quick and you don't want to go through Keller offers for whatever reason, or if you just find somebody who, is looking to do their first investment, you can look around here and find who the cash buyers are in the neighborhood. Just by clicking cash buyer here, that'll tell you. It doesn't look to be working on this one. Or why?
Good, fast, cheap, pick 2.
Yeah. Good, fast, cheap. Yeah, think about it. If you go into the appointment and you're like, hey, Mr. Seller, I find that sellers typically want, these 3 things: time, convenience, and money. Which 2 are the most important to you? Well, if they tell you convenience and time are really important, well, then they're going to sacrifice money, right? Convenience and time is going to be an iBuyer offer. That's OfferPad, right? Nobody's going to show their house. They get a quick cash offer right away, and they're done. They got convenience and they got time, but they gave up money, right? We all know that if you list a house on the open market, you're going to get more than if you sell it to OfferPad. All right, so that's all that. I wanted to go through these with you. So now we're going to run back up to the top real quick, and I'm going to show you how to utilize this data. So now you know what all these things do on the side. You know that you've got lots of options here. So if we've got 2,100 homes, and I want to know what the turnover rate in the neighborhood is, I'm going to look how many people have owned their home for max 2 years. So 653. All right, so 653 divided by, call it 2,100. Okay, that's a pretty good turnover rate. That's a 30% turnover rate. So I would say 30% is pretty hefty of a turnover rate for a neighborhood. A good neighborhood is 5 to 10%. So when you're looking in a normal market outside of this market, if you can find a home that's about a neighborhood that's about 5 to 10% turnover rate, that's a good neighborhood to farm. So 30%, that's heavy. So that's good. 0 to 2 years. So if you wanted to see what it was over the last year, you would just, go. Let's say you wanted to go do a absentee owner. I mean, not absentee owner, what do you call it when a downsize, couple looking at downsize. Their kids have graduated high school. So we know that empty nesters, that's what they're called. That was the word I was looking for. Empty nesters typically live in their home, I don't know, 10 to 12 years. And then at that point, they are going to be an empty nester, right? So if they had kids when they moved in, then those kids are graduating. So anybody that's lived there that long, you've got a good chance that, they are ready to sell or have a conversation about selling. So let's just look at people who've lived in there 10 to 15 years. So now we've got 219 people who have lived in there 10 to 15 years. And you can save all these searches individually if you want to. Let's say I wanted to keep a search going at all times of Panther Trace ownership 10 to 15 years. I could just save it right here. Hit save search. You're going to type it in here. Name it what you want. We'll call this PT over PT10. So we would say that PT10 and that'll be there forever. So that tells me anytime I want to know who in Panther Trace has lived there for 10 to 15 years, I can click that search and it'll pull it up. Okay. Now for the fun stuff. So now you know you have endless data in Remind. Okay. What you do with it is how you're going to make money. So it's definitely like a way too much. You have way too much data. So you're going to have to be very specific in thinking about what you want to do. Do I want to do an absentee owner, campaign? Do I want to do an empty nester campaign? Do I want to do an investor campaign? Do I want to do a first-time home buyer campaign? You have to decide what specific campaign you're going to do and how you're going to utilize the information. Otherwise, you just have way too much information. You know what I mean? So we're going to take all this stuff. Now, I personally, when I first download a farm, I want the whole farm. I don't want to split it all up at first. I just want I want a spreadsheet of everything. Okay. So these 2,072 homes, I want all of those. So you're going to click here, select all. All right. You've got 2,072 selected. And then we are going to hit right here, just like Amazon, cart. We're going to add it to our cart. Okay. It only lets you have 10,000 active properties in your carts at a time. So if you have more than that, you're going to have to start deleting them. That's what I had to do this morning in order to teach the class. So we're going to call it Panther Trace all. Okay. So when you type that in, you have to click this little gray bar that pops up, or it won't actually do it. So click that, add 2,072 to cart. All right. Now, they added them to a cart. So now I'm going to come over here on the left side. You see here where it says daily search, save searches, and then carts right here. So we're going to click carts. It's going to take me to my Amazon carts, my Remind Amazon carts, and you can pull up Panther Trace all. So 2,005 properties. Now, remember when we looked it up, there were more than 2,005 properties. So why did they not all come over? No idea. Sometimes it's because their information is protected. Sometimes it's because they didn't know how to bring it in. I don't know. So 2005 is what we have now, but it's better than 0. So from this screen, you can come over here and you can hit send mailers. If you send mailers, it's going to take you to a third-party mailing company that Remind is affiliated with. That's why I have property promotion up right here. What are you guys looking at? Cool, you can see that. Okay, so this is Agent Print Pro. I don't know, you guys were at Bowl. So Tampa Title, was it Tampa Bay Title? I think it was at the back. They're affiliated with Hillsborough Title. So they have Agent Print Pro. I don't know if you guys can see this price here or if you guys order marketing, but these are mid-weight cover stock glossy door hangers, and they're 26 cents each. And for 50, you pay $13. I don't know if you guys have a cheaper print service than this, please send it to me. I have yet to find anything that is more affordable than this. And if you need it, you can go to Megan. I'll put her contact information here to get access to the site. Okay, and you can do it. They've got everything in here. So you can do your brochures in here, your property promotion. If you guys do luxury homes, you can run through the trifolds or the bifold brochures, whatever. And they're really, really affordable. I mean, it's incredible. I'll show you this one. These are usually, 98 cents each or something, and they are 51 cents each here.
That's cheaper than what we charge for color printing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very affordable. So this is where we do our marketing from instead of there. I just wanted to have that up real quick to show you. So if you do send mailers, it's going to take you to their website. Okay. Now, the other thing you can do is you can print mailing labels from here. If you click print mailing label, oh, first I got to select all, and then I can do print mailing labels. So if you do the print mailing labels, it gives you 3 of the Avery options. Everybody uses Avery. And then you can decide if you want to do just address to current resident or property owner, which if you do property owner, it's going to put their name in there. If you do current resident, it will literally put the words current resident as the addressee. And then you can either send it to the property address or the mailing address. So if you're going to go after an absentee owner, probably best to send it to the mailing address. If you're going to go after a first-time home buyer, probably best to send it to the property address, if that makes any sense. And so that would be what I would do there. And then you're just going to click print labels. It'll show them to you. Okay, so I've been going for about 20 minutes. I just want to stop, breathe, and give you guys a chance. Any questions, comments, concerns so far? Let me pull up the chat as well. Where is the chat?
I saw that you could export from there. When you export, what do you get?
Yeah, that's
EPS
next.
files, CSV files.
Yep, yeah, that's.
Excel file for you. You
Mhm.
can easily load that.
Yeah, that's the next step. Yep. So that's the very next thing we're going to go into. So I will show you guys how to do it, exactly what data is brought in there and how to divide that data here momentarily. Anything up to this point? Any other questions up to this point?
For Agent Print Pro, can we just request an account or do you have to talk to somebody?
I want you to talk to Megan, at least the person that handles all of this for me, just so that I know I send you to the right people. So I'll put her information in the chat here. Can you find the names and address of all the owners in a condo community? Great question, Maggie. I wish that we could. However, it does not look like we have that ability quite yet. So this is all public data. So, and I had reached out originally when Remind first came out and asked that question to you, and it was on their list of things to give. Now, it depends, I think, on how the condo reports itself, right? So if you go into, for instance, a neighborhood by us called Valhalla, they are a condo association, but they look like townhomes, and they're all listed individually, right? So those, if I pull that neighborhood, yes, you can use Remind to get all that. If you go to a tower condo where everybody lives in the same building, those typically are not reported in here, and you're not going to be able to get the data. That's what I found. If you find a way around it, please let me know, because I would be very interested in that. You're welcome. So, all right, so if there's no more questions on this, then we'll move to the next part. Agent Print Pro, like I said, I'm going to put, her name is Meg.
Another question about when you got the Panther Trace neighborhood just come up by itself, was that a shape you'd already worked out?
Nope. I just typed in Panther Trace and clicked the map, and it brought it right up for me.
Okay. Because I just went over there because I knew where it was. Okay. Yeah. All right. Nice.
Yeah. All right. So there's Megan's information there. That's her phone number. You can reach out to her there. She can give you access to the Agent Print Pro. And then you guys can get these extremely affordable printing stuff. And they like hand deliver them. I mean, it's a whole thing. It's really just an amazing service. So really take the time to look out for that. All right. So once we do the print labels, it's going to save it as a PDF down here. Okay. So that's what this is that I'm pulling up. There you go. So if I were to take these and put them into a, just to the Avery website, just print them onto the labels, they're going to print out just fine. And you can put them onto the letters. Now, professionally, I don't like doing my labels this way. And who can tell me why? Anybody have an idea why?
Because the names are in all caps.
Yes. I don't like doing anything all caps. Okay, I don't like sending things all caps. I just don't feel like it looks professional. I feel like it looks like somebody printed it with 700 other people and just put them in the mailbox. And I don't like to do that. I want to differentiate. So I take all these and do them myself. Now, what you can do, so we have Panther Trace all. So we're going to export this. The next thing we're going to, the very next thing we're going to do, and just so you guys know, the people who are jumping on right now, we did record it up to this point. So, and I know I'm moving quick. So, but you guys will get the recording. So just let me know afterwards if there's anything you need. Okay. All right. So remember, we highlighted Panther Trace. We brought it into here. We added it to our cart. Okay. And we have 2005 properties here, and we're going to hit export. Now, when you hit export, it's going to give you the option to name your stuff. Name it if this is just the absentee owner grouping, then name it that, okay? But this one is going to be the whole neighborhood, so we're going to name it all. All right. So you can see here, I've got columns to export. This is what I use. This is the only data I need. Okay, I'm going to download the whole spreadsheet so that you can see it, and then I'm going to download just this one as well so you can see the difference. When you download the whole thing, it is an immense amount of data. I mean, it's kind of crazy. So now I'm going to download one here. I'm going to name it Panther Trace Default. We're going to export. So now what will happen is it's going to give us an alert down here when it's ready, okay? So for those of you guys that just came in, I'll run back through the, just the beginning. You've got your front page here under daily. This is all your widgets and different market pulses, and this is set up however you want it. You can actually drag these and kind of move them all around, whatever you want. Okay, so that's how I have mine set up. Your search is here. So all of these little clicks on the side are just different tabulations that you can get different data from. So you've got cash buyers, distressed deals, mortgage age, mortgage rate, absentee owner, sell score, etc. Okay. So then we're going to come down here to alerts. Hopefully it'll be done soon. It does take a little bit when you have a ton of data. But I want you guys, because at the end, I want us all to kind of have a second to maybe you guys come up with some ideas of what other campaigns we can use this data for, right? That's where we can brainstorm together, because obviously I know how to get the data and I know how to use the data and I know how to do it, but everybody else has like these great ideas, and I feel like you guys can come up with some things I'm not thinking of yet, and I would love to hear them. So different campaigns that you guys think you could use this data for, etc. All right. There we go. All right, so both of them are ready. You see up here how it's green? Can you guys see that? All right, so it's green up here. You're gonna hit download to download it. So we're gonna download both of these, okay? All right, so the Panther Trace All one is right here, and I'm gonna open it, and it should share that as the screen too. All right, so should be opening here.
Want to use this as a prospecting tool to call. Does it show the DNC?
Yes. Yeah, so that's all in here. Yeah, so here is Panther Trace default. So this is the default one. This is how I like to look at it. Okay, so when I'm downloading data, this is how I'm downloading it, is these specific columns. Now, as you can tell, they've got it split up where you've got the address, but then they've got it split up house number, street, So I like to remember we talked about how I don't like capitalization for the addresses and stuff like that. So the way around that is, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Excel, but you can actually just come over here, and this will be in the recording, so you'll be able to see it proper. And then we're going to click here. We're going to close it. There you go. So all you got to do is that, and then you'll click this little orange or this little green thing. I'm not colorblind, I promise. click this little green thing and drag it. So many people. Yep, there you go. So then you're gonna let go right there, and it should, boom. It turns all of those into your regular addresses without them being all capitalized. So you can do that for anything that's going to be mailed out. It's just best to do that, right? We don't want to send all caps. You don't want it to be dear, no first name, right? Like you want it to be very direct and to them and personal so that they want to pick it up and read it, so they don't just put you in the recycling bin. All right, so you've got all the data here, and I'll go up to the top and kind of show you. You've got contact data is over here, okay? So equity percentage, equity stake. So this is how much, assumed equity they have in. Oh, is that a question? I see a question. Go, Amy.
I'm not seeing your screen. It's still on the all carts. And it just
Oh.
has a list and it hasn't, I don't know if other people are having a problem too. I didn't see
Okay.
when you moved things into Excel
Yeah.
or any of that.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. And I see your message here. I'm not seeing your screen. Okay, got it.
Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. I'm really not a Zoom master. I am so much like a person, like I like to be in person.
Me too.
So I'm learning here.
So yeah, I missed the whole part of like how to export it to Excel.
Okay. I will, yeah, I will go back through it again. So we're gonna show Panther Trace default. Yeah, Panther Trace default share. All right, now what are you looking at? Excel?
Not yet. Yes.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you for slowing me
Thank you.
down there. All right, so this is the spreadsheet. Okay, so when you guys download the spreadsheet, and let me know if you guys run into that same issue. Thank you, Amy, for helping everybody out there. When you guys download the spreadsheet, it's going to open up like this, and that was where I was showing. So here, how it's all caps. The way I made it not all caps was I started so here I'll just delete this and we'll do it again. Proper case. You guys see that I typed proper case, right? So we're gonna hit equals, okay? You're gonna type proper, and you're gonna click here, and you're gonna close it. You're gonna hit enter. So this will be in the recording. I know that's like, statistics for some people, but it's all good. And then you just click here once you have that, and if I can get it to go. Oh gosh, come on. Yeah, there we go. All right, there we go. So you can click here and you can drag it. I'm not gonna go I'll go a little bit down. But if you go all the way down, it'll go all the way down. And then you just let it go and it changes everything from all caps into regular case, okay? And it was very simple. All we did was in the top line, you typed equals proper. And then you click the block of the one you want to go to. So equals proper, and then, it's right here, equals proper, and then you click block 2, bam. And it's going to put A2 in there. You close it up and you hit enter. And it changes it from all caps to lowercase, okay? Now, the reason we do that is because I want it to look professional. I want people to to get these things in the mail and be like, oh man, these look really good. Let's see, how do I get back to where I'm not just looking at one person? There we go. Okay, there we go. So I don't want it to be all caps. I want it to be like that. The other thing is, when you come over here to the names, if they don't have a middle name, it puts in. So Excel likes to use the word null. So null means there's nothing there. It means that they're expecting a data to be put in there, but there's nothing to report there. So therefore they put in the word null. I can tell you 100% Guy Shipman's middle name is not null. Okay, so let's make sure when we're sending our letters out, we're not sending it to Solange Null Madeira. Okay, let's get that out. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to come up here to find and select. Okay, we're going to find anywhere that the word null is. Okay, find all. So there's a handful of them, and you're going to go to replace. You're going to replace it with a space. Replace all. There you go, 248 replacements. Now when I do my letters, it is not going to be null. Okay, the other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do that same kind of proper thing we did here so that we can make sure our names are professional and proper. So we're going to say proper name. You come here. All right, and we're going to say equals proper. We're going to click here. We're going to hit enter, and now we've got a proper name case. So now when I do letters, it's going to come out really nicely, okay, because they're all going to be right there. So we'll just click here. There you go. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you double click the bottom of it, it'll just do the whole column. Okay. So there you go. So now we've got a nice, pretty little database. We know where the information at. The equity is here. I like that. So the blocks that you're going to be probably spending a lot of time using are these. Okay. I guess there is just no good place to put y'all's spaces because every time I put them somewhere, they're in the way. All right, property address. We want the proper case property address. Remember, do it for the city as well as the proper case, okay? Actually, for that, you can literally just type Riverview once and then it changes all. There you go. So now we've got all this data. So the other thing you guys are looking for is phone numbers. I know that. So I'll take you over there. So here you've got owner one email addresses. You've got all kinds of emails in here. Okay. Oh, Stormy wants to get in. There you go, Stormy. All right. You've got email addresses here, and then you've got phone numbers should be the next column. Now, if this is free and accessible to everybody, do you think that the phone numbers are going to be super duper incredibly accurate?
No.
No, they're not. So here you've got 1, 2, 3 DNCs. I would also scrub it against the DNC list if you want to. Maybe these people aren't DNCs. Maybe these people are DNCs. However you handle DNCs in your market center in your business is how I would expect you to continue to do that. So you've got owner first name for the first person, owner first name for the second people as well. So if they're married or if it's, you know, what joint, whatever it is, you've got that there. All right. So that's the data. So that's all of the stuff. Now, what do we do with it? Right? It's so much stuff. So what do we do with it? Well, that's what I'm going to show you. Okay, so I am going to move over here for a moment. And I'm going to share from my screen here. Oh, why is it disabled? How do I disable it? Okay. There we go. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Quick thumbs up. Good. All right. So I want to share my screen here. I don't know what it is you guys are looking at. Let me go back over here. I want to show you guys how I do my letters, okay? Because ultimately, data is only as good as what you do with it, okay? If you're not using it, then the data doesn't do anything for you. So can you guys tell me what you are looking at? Because I can't tell. All right, stop share.
That,
There you go. And then I gotta start my share with you, share screen. Okay, good. So now you're looking at my databases, right? That's what you guys see. So here's where I save all my stuff. These are different neighborhoods that I've done because so for data, it's you're gonna want to use it to farm. That's essentially what this is all for. So when you're picking a farm, there's a few that I recommend you decide from. So one should be pretty local to you. If you had to pick just one farm to start with today, that would probably be the most important criteria. I would make it close. Pick something that's not too far from you that you can get to quickly. Okay. And then after that, I would pick either a newer neighborhood or a pricier / like higher turnover rate neighborhood. Like Panther Trace, 30%. That's a farm right there. That is a high producing, well volume farm. Okay, so that's a great neighborhood. All right, so when you come in here, you're gonna find your database, you're gonna save it. So these are some of the ones that I've done. So we'll use Wilson. I really like Wilson Manor. This is a neighborhood right outside the street, right outside the compound of my house. So it's pretty close, okay? So when we're doing this, go in, scrub your data, make sure everything is right, etc. All right, now you can save these databases to your computers and you can do these letters, okay? So when you're saving the Excel spreadsheet, the way I showed you, pull it off of there and you save it as an Excel file, right? And then you save it to your computer. Now you can do these little these letters like this. So I'll pull this one up first. So here is a letter that I used for it's called an equity. I call it an equity letter. Okay. So it says the real estate market in Medford Lakes is growing rapidly, and knowing the value of your home can be important for a variety of reasons. For example, if you're considering refinancing your mortgage, getting an HELOC, selling, or getting your mortgage insurance removed, or maybe you just want to make sure that your house is worth more than the neighbors. All joking aside, etc., etc. So then from there, at the end, I give you your equity stake. Okay. Now, do you think I went in and typed in 300 letters, 400, 500 letters worth of equity stakes? No, I did not. So the way that you do this is you have the template, which if you guys email me individually, I will send you the templates for this. Listen, there is no competition in real estate. I refuse to believe it. There are enough people out there, enough families out there who do not fit my personality, that do not want to work with me, that will want to work with one of you. Okay, so I will teach you everything that I can so that you can just help people to the best of your ability. Okay, because that's what we do. So I will send you all of these letters. Now, this is a fillable spot, and this is a fillable spot. Okay, so the way you do this is as follows, and all of this will be in the recording, so you're going to get it. So I'm going to move quick. Yep, go ahead, Amy.
not seeing it.
What are you not seeing? Oh.
Oh, that is only displaying your other computer over here.
Yeah, okay, so there you go.
Watch
Share.
the video.
We're watching.
You see it now? Okay. Thanks, Amy. Appreciate it. Oh, you're gonna be my saving grace through this thing. All right. So here's the letter, right? So the real estate market in Wilson Manor is growing rapidly, et cetera, et cetera. I just read it to you guys. And then P.S. I've estimated to be sitting on approximately 70,343 in equity. Now, I print this letter out. I highlight this part right here with like a yellow highlighter, and then I take a blue pen and I draw an arrow, and it says "wow" or "congrats" or "holy cow" or whatever I want to write to make it really personal. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look like it was just auto-generated. It looks like it was really personal. All right, so we send that over. Now, the way that you can fill these from Excel is like this. You take this and you're going to go up here to mailings, and then you're going to go to start mail merge. Okay, right there, start mail merge. You're going to click that, and you're going to go to step-by-step mail merge wizard. All right, once I start the wizard, which let me move y'all's beautiful faces again. down there. Now, I know I'm going to be doing letters, but you can do envelopes, labels, directory, whatever, but we're going to be working with letters, okay? So we're going to go next, we're going to pick the starting document. The starting document is this document, the one that I'm in. So use the current document. Next, select recipients. Use an existing list, but I'm going to pull it up because I want to use the list that I just took. So I got to find my databases. You guys are about to get to see how organized I am not. All right, so here's all my databases here. Medford Lakes is here, or Wilson Manor, we're doing Wilson Manor. So there you go. Open. Open and read only, that's fine. Sorry, have it open. So now you can use that spreadsheet to fill in your letter here, okay? So like I said, this is gonna, you guys will get the recording, so you'll be able to follow this as long as you guys are able to see, which it looks like you can. But it's start here, start mail merge wizard, okay? And then pick your docs that you want to use. I will send you the template for this letter so that you have it, all right? Now, you're gonna go to write your letter. Now, the greeting block, I want this to be fillable, okay? This isn't something that you're gonna want to type every time. All right, so I'm gonna leave it here and you're gonna go to greeting line. Dear sir, madam, however you want to put that in, okay? I'm gonna match the field for the name. And you're gonna look full name, proper case. There we go. Okay. Okay. Boom. Greeting line. So now that's in there. So now what's going to happen is it's going to take however many people I have in that spreadsheet. It'll make me a letter with a new greeting line for every single one of those people in there because it's feeding from that Excel spreadsheet, right? So Microsoft Word is talking to Excel and it's saying, okay, column 4 is names. That column is going to be put in here. So I'll keep going. The other column is going to be the equity. All right. Now, equity is in here as well. We know that that's one of the columns that I kept, right? So we're going to go to more items and we're just going to look for equity. So let's go down. Equity. There we go. Boom. Equity. Insert. Close. Now, I've got the 2 things in there that are going to be auto-filled, and so now I can hit preview letters. All right, you guys can still see my letter, right? Okay, good. I'm seeing it over here. So now if I hit complete the merge, edit individual letters, okay, you guys are going to see some magic. There you go. So I added a comma to that. So if something like that happens, you can do the find remove if you wanted to, just to remove a double comma, which I'll go ahead and do that if I can get this thing out of the way. Where the heck is that find remove in Word now? I feel like they update Word and like the way it looks all the time. I don't remember where that is, but there you go, replace. So anytime that you run into an issue like that, if you don't want to have to do it individually, so I know that anywhere there's a double comma, I'm going to want to replace with a single comma. We're just going to replace all. Well, it's not going to work. Fine. Well, they put a double comma in here and that was from my merge. So I could just go back and redo the merge to fix it. But you guys get the idea. The info's in here. So once you're here, you've got all your letters ready, right? So I would go back in and make sure that things don't look like this. Approximately, you want to make sure that you've got a $sign there. So that could be when I merged it over, when I'm doing the field, add the $sign in there. It's pretty easy. But ultimately, there you go. So you've got all your letters. It generates one for every single person. You see here, Eileen Knoll Messier. Her name is not Eileen Knoll. Okay, so that was where I didn't pull that out on the spreadsheet and then put it into the letter. That's what it would look like if we did the mailer. Okay, so go back and,
We're not seeing it.
why not?
I don't know if it's on your end or what. I gather what you're saying though, about null,
Oh, why is it not moving down with it?
it may just be slow too. Keep moving, man, you're doing great.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing you all the letters. It's not scrolling with me as I scroll, and I'm sorry. Like I said, our internet is really fast here, so the computer has a difficult time keeping up. But ultimately, you know, if essentially if this said null, that would be like what we're talking about. I just don't know why it's not showing. There we go. Okay. Oh, I see now. Okay, so this is why it only shares one screen at a time. Okay. So now you've got it. So here we go. So this is what I was talking about. Eileen Knoll Messier. Her middle name is not Knoll. We just didn't take that out of the spreadsheet, so therefore put it in there. Okay. Now, you just took that spreadsheet, those templated letters, and clicked a button and made 300 letters like that, right? Now, you're going to take these and you're going to mail them out, okay? So you're going to be specific, and you're going to take the database. So here's the other thing I'm going to show you. All right, I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to do it quick. All right, I'm going to come over here. No, I don't have a lot of time left, you guys. But when you're dialing through the neighborhood, if you upload everybody into a CRM, which you can do if you use Command, if you use Brivity, if you use Sync, if whoever it is that you use, you can upload them. Let me share my screen here. Share. All right, so you guys should be seeing my Brivity. Yes, okay, good. All right, so this is my database, all right? And all of my people are in here, and I can come over here. Of course, wait for it to load the people. All right, so everybody's in here. So one of the things that I do is I tag everybody with their neighborhood. Boom. So when I go into my database, all of the people that I took from that Excel spreadsheet, I upload that Excel spreadsheet directly into my database. So I take it out of Remind, I clean it up, make it nice and pretty and polished, and then I upload it directly into my database. That way, when I'm cold calling through the neighborhood, it's not super cold, right? I'm calling through the neighborhood and I'm saying, hey, I'm so-and-so, you know, I just sold another home in the neighborhood, or we're looking to help a couple buyers move into the neighborhood, homes in the neighborhood are selling for more than they ever have, etc. And you can pull up, well, how much is my home worth? Well, how much equity do you think I have? Well, I don't know, Mr. Archer. You know, but meanwhile, as soon as they pick up the phone, I'm pulling this up, right? Well, Mr. Archer, I've got your address here, I've got all your information here. And of course, this guy doesn't look to have any equity. Equity percentage 4%. So I wouldn't want to talk to this guy. No, I mean, you know, he's got $10,000 in equity. Not a whole lot. Probably not a good person to call at this time, but a good person to know. And so that, you know, so that way you can have specific conversations with each person. You know, oh, you got about 10,000. Oh, you've got about 20,000. I upload everything in here, and that way, as soon as they pick up the phone, I add the notes, and then I send what are called no thank you cards. So when they pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm not interested in selling, I do a card that says, hey, thank you so much for answering the phone. I know you said you're not interested in selling right now. You love your neighborhood, and most of your neighbors feel the same way. If I can be a resource in any way, please don't hesitate to let me know. And you're good. All right. Let me send that out. So that's it. That's crash course into Remind. I know that was a ton. I know you guys are probably like, what in the heck did I just learn? And that's okay, right? What I want you guys to do is take it and kind of run with it. And let me get back to the, I have no idea how to work. Just want to see all your faces here. All right, there we go. So if you guys need anything, if you have any questions, as of right this second, does anybody have any questions? Is there anything I can answer? Is there anything I can do? Come on, bring them. Yes.
Tomorrow I'm at 4.
So, so basically we use Remind, Excel, and Microsoft Word are the basic like 3 programs that kind of integrate that we need to have.
Okay.
Correct?
Yes. Remind is where you go to get the data. Excel is how you save the data to move it. And then your database is what you would put the Excel into, including Command. You can upload this directly into Command. You can do tags in Command. You can do tasks in Command. You can do everything that I did in Brivity. You can do that in Command.
Okay. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
You're welcome. So take those neighborhoods, get yourself a good farm, save them as DTD2. Now we have no excuses as to why we don't have enough people to call, right? I can go call 10,000 people right now if I really wanted to. Okay, so now you know how to go get it. Go get the info, download the data. Let's make our 20 calls. You know the deal, and we'll get it done, man. I'm excited that you guys were able to make it on here to learn this. This is a big deal. Paula, you're coming in at the very end. Sweet, sorry. But you guys will all get a recording of this. We'll get it emailed out the same way that you guys got the invite. Any more questions? Anything I can do? Anything I can answer? Even if it's not Remind related, I'm also a PC coach. So if you have any questions on that, I mean, I can help with that too.
Thank you.
All right, I will get the recording emailed out to you. I know you guys are like, I have to have that. And I'll send it to you. If you have any questions, you have my email, you have my phone number, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I'm around.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, you guys, it was a pleasure. I really, really enjoyed myself. I enjoyed my time. If there's anything else you need, just let me know. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.